Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. One that I've been saying I was going to do for the past week or two, so just thought I would knock it out this morning and finally get around to doing my 2019 room tour, if you will. This was kind of in conjunction with my contest I just finished up a few weeks ago, where I asked all you guys to do a room tour, mainly because that's like my absolute favorite videos to watch in the VC. As I've mentioned so many times before, I just love diving into people's music worlds, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's awesome. I love watching the room tour videos. I love doing them. I love going back and watching my old room tour videos, your guys' old room tour videos. So basically, here's my room tour for 2019. And well, actually, why don't I just kind of start by doing kind of a quick pan of the overall room, so as I'm going around, you'll have a good idea of kind of what things are like. So this is kind of my main music area here, which is upstairs. But yeah, so we just kind of dive right into it. Why don't I start right here at the bar? This right here is my database. Probably the two questions I get most often, or I've gotten most often, has been about my database and about how I clean records. So just really quick, I use an Excel spreadsheet. I know a lot of people like to use Discogs, and there's definitely some advantages to that. But I use an Excel spreadsheet. Basic information I keep in there: name of the album, or name of the artist, name of the album, year of the album, genre that it's filed in. If I have it on vinyl, the condition of the sleeve and condition of the vinyl, the value of the vinyl, and then I'll have what type of vinyl it is, or what type of record it is. Is it just a regular LP? Is it sealed? Is it a single? Is it a Japanese pressing? Is it a MoFi pressing? Is it in a box set? Whatever it might be. And then the next category there is CDs, and the same thing. Is it in a box set? Is it a Japanese pressing? If I have it on cassette, and then if I have the vinyl, then I'll also put the label, the catalog number, and then any details about the record. Is it a numbered copy of something? Just all that kind of stuff. Is it a splattered or colored vinyl, whatever. So that's all the information I keep on page one. On the second sheet, that's where I keep track of all my 45s. I won't pull it up just to save time here. Third sheet, CD box sets. Fourth sheet, LP box sets. Fifth sheet is where I have another page where I just single out all my Japanese stuff, since I'm kind of really into collecting that stuff now. So that's kind of what I use this computer for, really nothing else. Of course, always backing it up with little zip drives and so forth. So this is where I clean and process everything and put it in my database. Nothing gets put into my database nothing gets a protective sleeve until it's cleaned and put in my database. Then it gets a protective sleeve. So that's kind of how I keep track of the status of where stuff is at in the processing. Cleaning, that's really about the extent of what I do. Nothing big, nothing fancy whatsoever. And really the way I look at it is that I do most of my cleaning before I even buy the album, which is just kind of a smart aleck way of saying I just pretty much only buy stuff, especially in the last year or two, that's only, if it's not near mint, I'm pretty much not buying it in the first place. So really I see myself more so as just wiping records off when I bring them in, and not so much as cleaning them. Now every blue moon, you can buy something that looks absolute mint in the store, and you get it home and there's crackles and pops in it, which I don't really accept that much anymore. So what I will do is lay a towel down, get it really wet with soap and water, kind of scrub around it with a very similar brush, making sure the label stays completely dry. And then I'll just let that soap and water just kind of soak and hopefully loosen up some of the dust that might be on there. Rinse it off later. If it plays, great. If it doesn't, still has cracks and pops, then it'll probably go down in this pile down here, which is the purge corner. So typically this is all stuff that I'm selling, flipping, purging, or whatever else, right down in that corner, right next to the computer. So the eBay thing is pretty easy. All right. So moving on to the actual shelves, we'll start on this wall here. Actually, do it like this so you can get a good view of the wall. I definitely think one of the big benefits behind us having collections, it doesn't make a difference if you have 40 albums or 30 albums in your collection or 5,000, 10,000 or whatever. You have a ton of great artwork in your possession. And I think to not take advantage of it, I don't know, it makes sense to take advantage of it. Maybe it's a better way to put it. So this is kind of how I do it, by having the CD wall here. No rhyme or reason to this. Just every now and then I'll pull a couple CDs off, put new ones up as I get the urge, and just kind of rotate around the various artwork. Same thing with the floating shelves here, where I just kind of take advantage of that by putting album artwork. And what I usually do with the shelves is I've kind of been doing themes with the shelves, where I'll just be walking by, or I'll be flipping through my collection and get an idea of, oh, I want to do this theme today. So like for this one I did just R&B and funk is kind of what the theme I decided to do on that one, and I'll go into what I did on the other ones when I walk over there. As far as the actual organization here, as you guys know, I'm crazy about my organization because it's really fun to me, especially when it comes down to breaking things in genres. So I know a lot of people, I've heard this a lot, where well, there's really no such thing as genres and this and that and blah, blah, blah. It's just good music or bad music. Okay, well, that's fine. Or sometimes people will say, well, what if you have all these bands that don't fit into one genre? So, you can't really do the genre thing because you don't know what genre this band could go into. And, well, that's fine too. My whole idea behind organization is, if you can find exactly what you're looking for when you go seek it, then your collection is perfect. It's organized. I mean, that's perfect. So, like I said, in my mind, there's 10,000 different ways that's right to organize your collection. So with me, I do get very genre specific, and it's everything by feel. So actually, kind of a good example here is, even if you have kind of a modern artist like Leon Bridges, when I listen to him, he gives me more of a 60s, 70s R&B feel. Excuse me, bit my tongue and I can't talk. So I put him in my 60s, 70s R&B section, where maybe some other people may not do that. But so you'll see a couple things as we go around that are, probably not what most people do. I do have these little tabs that I made. I have about 4 or 5 of these throughout my collection, just little place markers. So you have 60s, 70s R&B, 60s, 70s ladies, 80s R&B, and that carries all the way out to about right here. And then from here over are just all individual artists with their own tabs separated out. I do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, it may be an artist or band that I'm listening to a lot, trying to complete a collection on. Sometimes maybe in other sections, if they get too full and I need to make room for new stuff, I can, grab 1 or 2 artists, pull 10, 15 records out, move them over here, and create space for new stuff to go into the collection there. And another rule that I have with that is, anytime an artist gets its own tab, has to have 1 or 2 things. Either a band logo, or there's going to be a record in front of the artist's name. So anywhere throughout my collection, it's easy to note from a distance where a genre starts, which is just regular label, or where an individual artist has been placed based on the fact that there's a record in front of their name. Just, again, something I like to do. It's either that or they have to have their own band logo. So this kind of gives you just a little bit of an idea of the individual artists I have separated out here. I really like that Uriah Heep one of my favorites. You have a little Prince, a little Queen there. And then the last section there, those are autographed records back there. And that's another good example right there, talking about organizing in the way you want to organize. As you can see, my 4 symbols there, my Led Zeppelin comes right after Neil Young, which means I'm filing Led Zeppelin under Z. And it's not a surname or anything, so obviously Led Zeppelin should be filed under L. But in my mind, when I think Led Zeppelin, I think Zeppelin, I always think Z, my natural tendency is to go to Z, so that's why I decided to put Led Zeppelin in my collection. So again, no wrong way to do it. It's just whatever works for you. Down below, I have these on casters, so kind of easy to roll out if you need to get better access to them. But you have soundtracks down there. You can see another singled out artist, starting with John Coltrane, going over to Ornette Coleman, Miles Davis, then General Jazz section, then also Blue Note section here, which is just kind of like it says, just all my Blue Note albums. Definitely some nice classics in there too. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea about some of the stuff in the Blue Note section. And then smooth jazz and classical, the opera towards the back. I think most of that kind of have on CD. I don't have a ton of vinyl in those particular genres. And then over here, kind of continuing the same thing, you know, with blues and reggae and comedy. This is that Finders Keepers section I keep referencing every now and then, which is basically albums that I don't want to get rid of until I find mint copies to replace them with. But where they are now, they're, in my opinion, not good enough to be in my collection. But it's still about the music, so I don't want to get rid of them until I can actually get mint copies of all of this. So yeah, so that's why they have the red dot on the front, because that does kind of note that they officially are not in my database. Those records are not officially in my collection. So then you go into, you know, rap and hip hop. Another one of my labels, the Black Sabbath. Punk and hardcore. Grunge, hard alternative, hard rock, glam and hair metal, and metal. Again, those are very, very distinct genres for me. And then some individual artists pulled out at the end with Twisted Sister, Motorhead. Well, you can kind of see. I have to read them all off. That's the Plasmatics there, in case you can't read that one too clear. All right, and then down below, these are just all the CD box sets. No rhyme or reason to these. It's just kind of how they fit. So these are all the sets with the exception of my long box sets, which are on a different shelf that I'll show here in just a second. But that kind of gives you an idea of what's down below there. All right. Table centerpiece. I mean, it's a centerpiece on the album cover, so it might as well be the centerpiece of my little table here as well. Then we got this wall, and this is where I keep most of my homemade box sets. So a lot of these I have shown before, a few I have not shown you yet. You know, with the Kiss and the Rush set, along with the Kiss Playboy edition there. It's the Kiss CD box set I'm working on. Or actually, I've completed, along with these stupid pop rocks I've started collecting. Overkill and Motorhead CD box sets. Motley Crue cassette box set. And then Linda Ronstadt and a Whitesnake box set I'm working on back there. All right. And then actually, let's go over here next. I'll come back to that other rack of vinyl. This is the CD room. This hasn't changed a ton since my last tour. But this kind of gives you an idea about what I have in here now. That's the piece I got from Lazarus a long time ago, but I still got that. So CD-wise here, what you have up top are all my CD deluxe sets. Or deluxe CDs, I should say. That's what you have there. First row there, just deluxe CDs. You know, different random ones. Up top here, these are all the deluxe CDs with the slip cases, which I've really gotten into collecting quite a bit recently. On the very top row here is where you have pretty much almost all my digipacks. Just kind of keeping them separated from the jewel cases so they don't get too beat up, because it's so easy to get those things all roughed up and everything. And then basically starting there and going down, it's just, you know, metal, then going into hair metal and kind of the same genres you saw out there, which finishes down at the bottom and then continues over on that shelf there. Now in these, what you have is like MoFi CDs, Japanese jewel case CDs in the next few rows, Japanese mini LPs, little Blue Note section I started there with Blue Note CDs as well, slipcase CDs. All the, you know, CDs have those little slipcases which go up there, and then the double CDs, you know, we see those all the time. And then just a bunch of individual artists from that point, which really kind of revolves around artists I'm listening to or artists that I'm doing, you know, trying to complete their studio album collections and stuff like that. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of a, say, quick view. All right. You can kind of see the wall decorations, Decor. Just more CDs for decoration. All autographed CDs over here. And then down below is where you have blues, country, easy listening world, and then hip hop and R&B. So that's all down below there. So that's still kind of the CD room. New CDs I need to go through, listen to, clean, get put in the database, all that good stuff. All right, so then going over to this section here. Actually started with the table. I made a few alterations to this coffee table here by putting some artwork underneath the glass. So that made it a little more fun in my opinion. The coaster set I showed you previous. These are all my burnt CDs over here. I mean, well over 1,000. Just I'm telling you, if you have it available in your area, local libraries, you can go and get tons of free music there. I used to take my laptop in there and just sitting there, you know, for a couple hours just downloading CDs left and right. But I also like to have hard copies of everything, so I went ahead and burnt a copy of everything I downloaded. But that's what all that is there. More of the themed shelves. This one over here, I put this up just a couple of days ago. I thought, I'm gonna do a shelf with best fros and Jerry curls. So these were the winners that day. Definitely got a serious fro there, and definitely got a serious Jerry curl right there. Good gracious. And then up here I went with just black and white covers. And this one was anything that had some type of drawing on, like a cartoonish type of drawing in some way, shape, or form. So that's the theme I decided to do with this one. And again, I just rotate those all the time just to take advantage of the artwork and have fun with it. Any records or CDs that are on the wall are always autographed. Those are the only ones I ever hang up. So that's what those are as well. I won't spend as much time on the system this time. Maybe I'll do a separate video specifically talking about what I have stereo-wise, but that kind of gives you a quick glance. Along with the AC/DC box set I made. My 45 collection over here, as I kind of mentioned, I've gotten back into that. Again, maybe I'll go over that in more detail later. That's the Rob Zombie set that I'm almost done with, and I will share that with you as soon as I get done with it. Black Sabbath set I have shown you. The Godfather himself right there. Probably my favorite poster. I love that. More of the pop rocks I've gotten into. And then you have this wall over here. Oh, new speakers. I do have the Fluence XL7s now. I still have my HPM 100s. I just put them on my bedroom system for now. But anyway, More decorations here. Here I just went with face close-ups. That was the theme here. And then this was just new purchases. So that's what I decided to do with this one the other day. And again, I just kind of flip those around whenever I get a hair up my rear to do it. Taking advantage of the artwork again with the box sets by facing them out on the cubes, because I have all that space I'm not using. And then we got MoFi, Bill Withers. Then we got more autograph stuff, Kiss Clock. All right, Bowie box sets. I'll skim through these really quick. Japanese pressings, Grails section, just some of the, stuff that I sealed copy of Revelations by Audioslave. I paid $12.99 for that bad boy. Sealed copy of POD, sealed copy of Ozzy Scream, Shine Down Us and Them. So some cool stuff in here for sure. And 70s ladies. This is the original place marker that I had when I had about 50 records when I first started collecting. And as you can see, I have not changed or repaired or done anything to this. Just kind of a little piece of nostalgia from when I first started collecting vinyl records, but it's still with me. And again, you can kind of see now we're getting to the 80s section. Again, with the genres, you have 80s alternative, 80s new wave, which then comes right over to here. Individual artists with idols and 80s ladies new wave, 80s pop rock. Little David Bowie marker that I have there. Continues up here. Now we're into the 90s, 2000s with a Chris Stapleton marker. Synth pop, post rock, dance, techno, country. And there you have that as far as the shelves go. A couple more sections down there. Easy listening and compilations. Vinyl box sets. CD long box sets at the bottom. As well as some more vinyl box sets right here. All right. And then kind of taking advantage of this hallway here. This is where I have my cassette collection. This is a nice long flat wall, organized very similar to the rest of my collection, so I won't go into too much detail there. And then since we're standing right here, I'll go ahead and show you kind of the guest bathroom, because it sits right here, which is very Kiss related. Even have a Kiss sticker on the back of the toilet seat. So you got Destroyer there, you got Dynasty there along with the Kiss trash can, Kiss figures there. So that's the guest bathroom. So there you go, VC. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave some comments below. Let me know if there's something in particular you'd like to see a little more in depth. I'll try to maybe see about doing some follow-up videos to do that. But yeah, overall, that's kind of, say as far as up here, that's the main music space. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon, VC.